today, O Lord, oh, not today. Think not upon the fault my father made in compassion and compassing the crown. I, Richard's body, have interred new, and on it have bestowed more contrite tears than from it issued forth drops of blood. 500 poor I've in yearly pay, who twice a day with withered hands hold up toward heaven to pardon blood. And I have built 2 chantries, where the sad and solemn priests sing still for Richard's soul. More will I do, though all that I can do is nothing wood, since that my penitence comes after it, imploring pardon.
I'll read it. My liege.
My brother Gladys reports, I know the air. I will go with thee the day my friends and all things stay for me.
Okay, so let's pause. This is ninth grade, and we're finishing, this class again is ahead of everybody, so we're finishing scene 1. Henry just made some references we need to look at. First of all, he prays. Let's see if there's a question about this. 155, 155. Yeah, it's question 53. And there may be some we need to address, so you tell me prior to this, but we'll start at 53, question 53. You got that? All right. So what is the purpose of including Henry V's prayer on page 157? Mine's on 55.
No, yours on 54. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But it says here 7.
Oh, no, it did say, yeah, it says.
Anyway, I guess they were wrong. So what do you think the purpose is? It's an opinion, but, yeah.
It's still showing virus toward England
Yeah.
and
Good
knowing
answer.
that they're praying to God and they're kind of wallowing in like expressing sorrow, like some of them are gonna
I just couldn't hear that part. They're what?
They're expressing sorrow like over the men, and he's going around saying, thank you for fighting for our cause, while the French are still being boisterous and like, yeah, and partying. He's just showing, like, he's being great.
That's really good. And I like the first part you said, it shows bias. Anytime you, like, just the fact that he's praying to God suggests maybe that Shakespeare is trying to show whose side it's God on. The English side. Now, that's always an interesting question in any particular war. Whose side is God on? I think the better question would be, whose side are we on? You know, I mean, that's the question. It's not who God is pulling for. Are we on God's side? Then there's no question as to what God's will is here, because we are following it. Yeah.
They're showing sorrow to the French.
For the French, you mean, or to? What do you mean to the French?
They're like expressing sorrow, their sorrow to the French. Who are they expressing?
Yeah. Well, he's praying to God, and it says, take from me, take them now the sense of reckoning, or the opposed numbers, pluck their hearts from them, and so forth. I love the expression of God of battle, steal my soldiers' hearts. He didn't say, help them win. He said, steal their hearts, possess them not with fear. That'd be a great prayer to pray when you enter a game or something. Not, Lord, help us win. Help my team win. Just pray, Lord, I pray I do my best. Because you don't know who's going to win. You hope you win. So that's would be a great prayer. I pray that people are safe, they don't get hurt, and that we play well, and that we're not afraid. Those would be a great things to pray, and I think in God's will. Now, is he going to let you win? I don't know how all things are determined by God ultimately. Now we got to deal with this. He says, not today, O Lord, think not upon the fault my father made in compassing the crown. I, Richard's body, have interred new, and on it have bestowed more contrite tears than from it issued forced drops of blood. I don't know if you would know this unless you read the note, but make sure you write it down. I don't think it's asking you this, I think it's important. Henry is asking God to forgive him for his father's sin. Henry the Fourth, before he was king, he put the king in jail, the current king. He really overthrew Richard II. That's the first book in the 4 books. He overthrew Richard II, put him in jail, and later had him killed. That's Henry's father. So that's pretty bad stuff. Henry did not do it, but he's asking God not to hold that against him. You understand what I'm saying, Catherine? You get that?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Are you gonna remember it though? So just keep that in mind. This links the last book in the quadrilogy to the first book, Richard IV.
So he put the French king.
No, Henry put the English king, Henry's father, put the English king in prison. His name was Richard II. And he put him in prison, and then he had him killed, and he became king. So Henry IV is not a honest or really nice guy. I don't know what people in history think about him. But Henry doesn't want the Lord to hold that against him. You understand that? Like, it'd be like you going into something, don't hold against the fact that my ancestor did whatever, he did a bad thing. And he mentioned that he paid penitence. Well, he said my penitence comes after all. Sound like he did both. He paid penance, and he's truly sorry. All right, so the battle is about to begin. That's question number 53. Turn the page. All right. Orleans and Dauphin. All right. You're Orleans, you're Dauphin. Real short. Then we need the constable. Constable, anybody read the constable? Oh, you can't do both. You're already Orleans.
Oh, no, she's Orleans.
Oh.
Last time I went.
Okay, all right, we'll keep up with that. Be messenger. And constable, we got a constable here. Grand Prix. All right, Grand Prix. That'll bring us up to the number 1 scene in the book, scene 3. The maybe most famous speech of Shakespeare's, all of his works. All right, so we'll start with, now literally the sun, I think, is coming up. The battle is going to begin within minutes, or hours still, probably more minutes.
I feel like
Do they
Romeo and
just, like,
Juliet.
target at each other, or are they like,
Okay,
ready for war?
hang on just a minute, yeah.
I feel like Romeo and Juliet is more popular than Henry VIII.
Romeo and Juliet.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah, it's all kind of a matter of opinion. Henry is pretty popular, but I've never seen it. I've seen Romeo and Juliet 100 times.
As
never heard of
ironic
him
as it
before
is to
this.
say, I feel like Romeo and Juliet was so cliche.
Well, maybe it created
It's
the
I
cliche, you know
love
what I mean?
I love it.
I
Yeah.
love
And I
Romeo
was
and
like-
Juliet. So good.
Like, as we were reading last year, like, this makes.
And Romeo.
That's because it's been done to death since then. You know, if you'd seen it in 1599, maybe it wouldn't have been so.
And were you in school last year? You weren't in school, right? Yeah, and I feel like that makes all the difference of like. when
We
you
all
read
read it
in person,
together.
Yeah.
Just hear it.
So, I did beautiful.
It
Well,
was so
Did you watch the
good.
new?
So
I can understand why you would like Romeo
You
and
watched
Juliet.
that,
Of all the plays that I saw at the North Carolina Festival, I have to admit, Romeo and Juliet was the best one. I enjoyed it most.
I
I
love
did not
it.
enjoy teaching it. Maybe I'd done it so much, but I really enjoyed watching it. It was really,
Romeo and Juliet.
you've convinced me, Catherine.
But if
I think I've changed my mind. I think, despite what I just said, I think I do like Romeo and Juliet probably best.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so the morning is coming up and Orleans and these Frenchmen are talking. You may, everybody ready? All right. Wait a minute, hang on. Yeah, we've got 10 minutes. You have a 15-minute break, so.
The sun doth gild our armor. Up, my lords.
Up, gild, what does that mean?
Uh,
So what does he mean by that, Lena?
It's like kind of the sunlight is reflecting off of their armor, it means it's daytime or it's dawn.
And it looks like the sun is painting or putting gold. Very good. All right, Dolphin.
Mount up, my horse, varlet, lackey head, hop.
Oh, brave spirit. It's something.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Here we go. By way of the waters and earth.
Sorry. Nothing after that, air and fire.
The heavens, cousin Orleans. Now my lord constable.
Okay. Hark how our steeds for present service name.
Mount them and make incision in their hides, that their hot blood may spin in English eyes, and doubt them with superfluous courage. Ha.
What will you have them weep our horses' blood? How shall we then behold their natural tears?
Messenger.
Jack, would you read the, oh, no, you're the messenger?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
The
okay.
English are.
No, what will you have? Oh, no, you're right,
Yes.
sorry.
The English are in battle, you French be.
Okay, just make a note, the battle has already begun. And you had a point a minute ago, it looks like you were gonna say something, Taylor, about fighting. I thought you, but anyway. The battle has begun. We didn't see it, it happened off
Oh,
stage.
yeah, what I was asking was, how do you like start, like, technically a war? Do you guys like make eye contact, like, ha, charge? Or do you guys like have like a friendly handshake, you know, like, hey?
Well, you know that the element of surprise is always the best way. So don't tell, I'm coming, don't do that. In the Middle Ages, that was almost impossible, Taylor, because you had to literally see your enemy to fight him. We don't need that anymore. But you had to be in front of him and facing him, and then you could fight him. So it was definitely harder. Nobody had to announce it. When the other side started lining up, you better be ready or they'll run over. So it's not a matter of, hey, give us a minute, we're not quite ready. They're coming, and you better be ready for it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. To horse, you gallant princes, straight to horse. But do but behold yon four in starved band, and your fair show shall suck away their souls, leaving them but the shells and husks of men. There is not work enough for all our hands, scarce blood enough in all their sticky veins, to give each naked cruel axe a stain, that our French gallants shall today draw out, and sheath for lack of support. Let us be blown on them. The vapor of our veil will overturn them. 'Tis positive against all expectation, lords that are superfluous, lackeys and our peasants who, in unnecessary action to them, about our squares of life, were enough to purge this field of such a killing foe, though we upon this mountain basis by took stand for idle speculation, but that our honor must not. What's to say? A very little let us do, and all is done. Then let the trumpet sound, the tucket sonnets, and the note of knell, for our approach shall so much dare the field, that England shall couch down in fear and yield.
Okay, before we go on, they are so confident. Here's the constable. I expected more of him. He basically, these guys look so bad. Let's go give them a meal, and then we'll kill them. Because right now, when we kill them, it won't mean as much. It'd be like killing women and children. So let's go. I mean, that's how confident they are. One interesting thing. Look at line 29. We talked about lines, armies lining up in lines like the Civil War. And this is 200 years before our Civil War. The American Revolution, 200 years. I'm sorry. This is 400 years before our Civil War. It says our squares of battle. Turn to page 190 and hold your place right there. Turn to 190. You can't see all those letters, but they represent types of soldiers, like what the weapons. The M represented muskets. And they had no muskets, at this point, but literally they would line up in squares. In the Napoleonic War in France, that was a major way of fighting, is to have your different corps or regiments, whatever size they were, line up in a square. So you'd see a battlefield, instead of one long line, you'd see these squares of soldiers. So you could see if you were in a square, you literally could shoot in any direction. And so it was very, it seemed like it was a very difficult formation to penetrate. But anyway, do we have a Grand Prix? Thank you.
Why do you stay so long, my lords of France? Yond island carrions, desperate of their bones, ill-favoredly become the morning field. Their ragged curtains poorly are let loose, and our air shakes them passing scornfully. Big Mars seems bankrupt in their beggared host, and faintly through a rusty beaver peeps. The horsemen sit like fixed candles, with torch staves in their hand, and their poor jades lob down their heads, drooping the hides and hips. The gummed down roping from their pale dead eyes, and in their pale dull mouths, the gimel bit lies foul with chawed grass, still and motionless, and their executors, the knavish crows, fly over them all, impatient for their hour. Description cannot suit itself in words to demonstrate the life of such a battle, in life so lifeless as it shows itself.
Think about it, he just called them Grand Prix, called them carrions. What's a carrion?
Corpses.
Roadkill.
Corpses.
Yeah, corpses. He called them beggared host. He called them candlesticks, thin. He called them he was talking about the crows. Yeah, pale, dull mouths, pale, dead eyes. I mean, the battle has started, but they still have no respect for the enemy. Constable.
Okay, alright, I got it.
161.
They have said their prayers, and they stay for death.
Shall we go send them dinners and fresh suits and give their fasting horses provender and after fight with them?
Now, that was when the Dolphin said that. He's the one who said, let's feed them and give them some new clothes, then we'll kill them. It's no fun right now. But
I stay before my guard, armed to field. I will the banner from the trumpet take, and use it for my mace. Come away. The sun is high, and we are outwear today. And we outwear the day.
Okay, so we won't read it because we run out of time, but we will introduce it. So this is scene 3, Gloucester, Bedford, Exeter, Erpingham, the whole crowd, and Salisbury and Westmoreland, and here comes Henry. They're talking about Henry, and then he comes in. Who is Gloucester?
I don't think Erpingham says anything.
No, he doesn't.
He just
Can I
kind of
be-
stands there.
We'll need this for tomorrow. I need it what?
Can I be Salisbury?
Yeah, I don't think he says a lot. Yeah, he does. He's right there. How about Gloucester? All right, we're not ready. Gloucester, would you read, somebody read Gloucester? I can read Gloucester.
I can do it.
All right, we need Westmoreland. All right. Exeter tomorrow. If you'll remember this, I'd appreciate it. We have Salisbury, Bedford. Anybody want to, Celeste, you're Bedford. And then look over on page 163. We've seen this scene before, and I will show it again. Tomorrow's Friday, so we're not talking about tomorrow. We're talking about Monday. So remember tomorrow, not a lot's going to get done. So you have to wait. I hate waiting. You have to wait all the way till Monday over a whole weekend. I know. I know. I'm sorry it turned out that way. Unless you want to meet, maybe Saturday morning, early.
7, does that work?
7. Well, you sleep late on Saturdays. I was thinking more 5:30 or 6.
Okay.
I'll be up by then probably.
No, I'm not.
11
11
a.m.
for me.